Hello, welcome. It's the new super review here on Thav TV. Today, it's Monday, the 28th day of February 2022. My name is William Sabule, and this is where we bring you headlines across newspapers around Nigeria. If you'd love to participate in this program, we'd like you to drop your comments and your reaction on the comment section. To do that, you need to follow us on this channel by subscribing and, of course, turning your notification key to always get notified. We're also on other social media platforms. We're on Facebook as Thav TV. On Instagram is Thav TV _NG, and on Twitter is at Thav TV. So do well to follow us on all of these other platforms to always get notified whenever we have a program up. For today, let's go straight to taking the headlines. Stay with us as we do this together. Thank you for staying with us. We begin the newspaper headlines from the Vanguard newspaper for today, the 28th day of February 2022. And we'll start from the top part of that newspaper. And up there we see Russia-Ukraine war. Romania, Hungary, Poland offer fleeing Nigerians free visa as Putin toys with nuclear warhead. Okay, and that story is on page 34 of the Vanguard newspaper. Other headlines on the Vanguard newspaper. Let's go straight to the headliner there. It says 2023, opposition thickens as Jonathan weighs options. 2023, opposition thickens as Jonathan weighs options. And that story is on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. All the stories here says bad fuel, petrol scarcity persists in Abuja, Lagos, other areas despite assurances. And then at the left part of that paper, we see NCC warns on new software that steals users' banking app login details. I'll take that again and say NCC warns on new software that steals users' banking app login credentials. That story is on page 7 of the Vanguard newspaper. So do well to pick a copy of that newspaper and read up the details of that story. Next, we go to Nigerian News Direct, and we start at the top part of that paper. It says IGP orders probe of missing 91,985 AK-47 rifles. Orders. And then we also see here NCC CSIRT discovers banking app targeting malware. NCC CSIRT discovers banking app targeting malware. And the big headline on Nigerian News Direct, we see fuel scarcity, price hike worsens transport fare. Price hike worsens transport fare. Attendants seek illegal charges from customers. Nigerians lament. Lagos, Abuja, Benin, Osogbo, Abeokuta, others was hit. Deregulation, panacea for scarcity. Sharp practices in petroleum industry. Former Mormon chairman speaking there. Other headlines here on Nigerian News Direct, we see NCDMB commences tour of facilities with stakeholders in Niger Delta. All right, that's all we can take on Nigerian News Direct. Next, we go to the Daily Sun newspaper, and the big headline here says, Russia-Ukraine war, Romania, Hungary approve free visa entry for Nigerians. Federal government calls for calm amongst parents whose words are studying in Ukraine. Nigerian envoys in Europe unite in tackling crisis. And then other headlines here on the Daily Sun newspaper. At the top part of that paper, we see how Seplat Energy wants to acquire mobile producing Nigeria Unlimited. And that story is on page 19 of the Daily Sun newspaper. At the bottom part of that paper, we see Nigeria may lose multi-billion petrodollar windfall from $102 per barrel crude price. Expert wants 3 trillion naira fuel subsidy to rise. 3 trillion naira fuel subsidy to rise. All right, we'll move on from the Daily Sun newspaper. Next, we'll go to This Day newspaper. And on This Day newspaper, we see APC governors still divided over zoning of party offices. APC governors still divided over zoning of party offices. And then just after that, the big headline on This Day newspaper says, Ukraine, Putin puts nuclear deterrent forces on high alert. Ukraine, Putin puts nuclear deterrent forces on high alert. All right, we'll move away from This Day newspaper. Next, we'll take on the Nigerian Tribune. And on the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, we see federal government confirms 4,000 Nigerians stranded in Ukraine, demands their safe passage. Federal government confirms 4,000 Nigerians stranded in Ukraine, demands their safe passage. Putin puts nuclear forces on high alert. World isolating Russia. Isolating Russia. European countries, US, to disconnect Russian banks from international financial system. BP to exit 20% its shareholding from Russian oil firm. All of that is on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. And next we go to the bottom part of that paper. We see 2023 poll timetable. APC, PDP, SDP, ACF, lawyers express worry, readiness for election. All right. After that, we're moving next to the Punch newspaper, and on the Punch newspaper, the headline is here says Russia-Ukraine war, fuel scarcity may persist, oil vessels face delay on sea. Fuel scarcity may persist, oil vessels face delay on sea. Other stories here on the Punch newspaper, we see National Assembly snubs Southern governors, excludes state police from 68 amendments. APC governors meet Tuesday. Party names, convention panel. Right, all of that story is on the Punch newspaper. So do well to pick up a copy of the Punch newspaper and read up the stories. Don't forget to drop your comments and your reactions on the comment section. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you think about these headlines we've read out to you this morning. Next on the newspaper review is our discussion segment where we get to analyze some of the stories we've read out to you this morning. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, thank you, viewers, for staying with us. We are back with our review segment, and I've been joined by Mr. Victor Sioku, my regular commentator. Welcome
Thank you,
to
sir.
the program. Thank you so much for always coming through whenever we call you.
Thank
All
you.
right, this morning, let's see what's going on, and let's begin from Ukraine. It's been talked about world over, about the situation in Ukraine, and unfortunately, we have over 4,000 Nigerians that are stranded in Ukraine, according to the paper report this morning. And the federal government is saying that they are making moves to get them out of the country. And one of the reports this morning says Romania, Hungary has approved free visa for entry of Nigerians to those countries in the bid to try to, push them to safety, that is. What's your take in all of this?
Okay, I'll first start with the data that we have about 4,000 Nigerians. Majority are students in Ukraine. Okay, my worry still begins from our data. We don't know how many persons we have in Ukraine.
Yeah,
which is a big shame.
I agree.
The first report came 10,000. 6,005 was there. 5,400 was there. Now 4,000. And these reports are coming from the top. Persons that the organizations we have hope in, because they are supposed to be the ones to cater for this data. Okay, when you come to the foreign ministry, interior, and other agencies that are involved in this, but at the end of the day, we do not really know this number. And why am I saying this? Because it's good to know your number so that you know how to solve the problem.
Yeah, with the kind of crisis that we're in.
Okay, so right now, we have Nigerians using the Polish route, we have Nigerians using the Romanian route and the Hungarian route. And you now ask, how do we know that everybody is safe if we don't know these numbers? The other day on TV, the head of the students' affair over there came up with the same issue, that we're having issues with the numbers. And you can't blame him because we have an embassy there.
Yeah.
They should know.
They should know.
Okay, pushing that aside, there are issues about human rights happening over there. The students are complaining, okay, to the government that they should come to their aid, that especially the Polish officials, that they are not treating them fine.
Yeah.
Okay, there was this video that spread online about a Nigerian mother, a mother of a baby, that she was pushed out of the vehicle, and her place was replaced with, in quotes, a white person. So racism is coming to play. The tales of racism is coming to play. But they should also the Polish in particular, they should also remember that there is a UN convention that is that has harmonized everything about conflict. Once there is a conflict in a particular region, everybody, whether you are white or black, whether your passport color is black or yellow, everybody has the same right to live. So they are supposed to respect that, accept these people. You don't know what might happen tomorrow. Okay. Another thing there is, I'm worried about Belarus. Nobody is mentioning Belarus in all this. Belarus, they are up north, more like not so far from Kiev, and you know many Nigerians are there in Kiev, and you wonder why are Nigerians not using the Belarus route? Because the Belarusians, they have given Russians power to moving their ammunitions through their border. So please, history will tell. God forbid anything happens to Belarus tomorrow,
they'll be left alone.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We also see that the Russian war, or the war in Ukraine, has also affected the fuel crisis that has been ongoing in Nigeria. I mean, we've had fuel crisis over a month now, and many states within the country has been affected. Or should I say all the states have had their fair share of this crisis. And we see that the war, in one of the headlines here, let me read it, it's on Punch newspaper, it says, fuel scarcity may persist, oil vessels face delay on sea. And this is as a result of the war going on in Ukraine. So what it means is that even here back at home, the effects of what is happening in Ukraine is beginning to show up here.
My brother, they are looking for reasons. The war is just only 5 days. And the fuel crisis is more than a month.
Yes, more than a month.
So what are they saying? That Black Sea, because that's where they move the Eastern to Asian transportation of oil produce, move through the Black Sea. But man, aside that side, we still get our, just by Europe here, by the West Europe, the Western Europe, we get our oil through there. So they should stop complaining about that. Since December, many, what do you call it, marketers have bought or have paid for their products. Till now, 60 days after, they've not yet received. So are you telling me just because of 5 days, against 60 days, people that have paid for their products since December, they have not received it, and you are now using this war of just 5 days to tell us that because of the embargo that has befallen on Russia ships and their vessels, and you're not telling us that it's the reason why, it's part of the I why the fuel scarcity will persist. Now we ask, I am really worried about the effect of this to the marketers, because these marketers are business people. How will I pay for a product? And many a times these guys use bank loans of 30 days.
Yes, they do.
So how will I do such a business that I'm supposed to get back my money in 30 days, pay the banks, and take my profit? Now it will not take me 60 days or more than 60 days to clear my goods. So it doesn't, okay, who will pay for the damages? Already they are clamoring. Ipman is already clamoring that, see, we are making list of these damages. The government will have to pay for this.
Because they didn't cause all of this.
Of course.
The government has shown the highest level of laxity as concerning this matter. Because long time ago, this matter should have been resolved, or should have been also avoided. But we found ourselves here, and look at the way they are resolving it, so slow. Now the story of the war, where, you know, even delaying more the pace at which they would have resolved this matter is now up, and they are holding on to that to buy some more time.
Yeah, my brother, people are really suffering.
Yes,
if you go to Kaduna, as of yesterday, the long queue, people on the road, they can't see vehicles to travel. It's too much. Right here in River State, I think we are enjoying here.
We have petrol here.
Because if you check, yes, we are paying for 190, but mind you, up there, they're paying up to 400 naira per liter. Now, if you also, what I was just thinking about yesterday was, maybe it could just be because these fire guys,
the illegally refined
yes,
petrol
they are still in all. They are, yes, they are still working.
Let's face facts,
they are still working. Their refineries are still.
The air has not totally gone out.
Of course,
it's still there,
so,
and the federal and the government of Rivers State has somehow calmed down in their fight against it.
Exactly,
the open war that they declared against these people, we're not seeing that anymore. It has calmed down. So who knows? These boys may have gone back to their illegal work, and maybe that's what's in circulation here in Rivers State. That's why we're not crying too much. And then come to think of it, after the first 1 week of intense scarcity of the product, the next week we found products in all the filling stations. The only thing is that you're going to be buying high, but they will be full. It's just that you're buying between 190 and 200. Some sell 200, some sell 190 per liter. But there is fuel in all of the fuel stations in Port Harcourt. So you're right. So maybe that was helping Rivers residents. But other states are having, a time of their life, and it's really not a good one for them. Okay, moving away from, the war and all the effects we have in Nigeria, let's go to politics a bit. I see this headline that I feel we should talk about. It's about former President Goodluck Jonathan. He's been on the news over the call for him to run for 2023 election. And this one, again, makes me wonder. It says, opposition thickens as Jonathan weighs options. What are the options he's weighing?
Well, already APC, they've spelled it out that presidency will go to the south. PDP on their own, they are confused. Unfortunately, that's for them. But they are confused. But they have up to the mid of June to run their primaries, and everybody has up to June. The timetable the new timetable is out again. Everything was moved by 1 week because of the lateness of the electoral bill getting accepted by the president. So Jonathan is on the table. Reason because they think, in quotes, from what some top politicians are saying, they think that when he gets in, if he eventually gets in, that after 2 years, he will be taken out. Because the Constitution has already stated that the president can't do more than 8 years. And he has done 6. Are you seeing that calculation? So they are like, okay, they will use a vice president from the north, then after that will take over.
And so the north gets back
and APC remains. So those are the calculations. What's his name? Bode George, that's the what do you call it? The patron of PDP. He was more like, I've not heard about this. I'm not sure he will want to do this, but I'm waiting to hear from him. They asked Shetima of the Arewa Progressive Congress president. They asked him, what do you have to say about this? He said, it's free and fair. That if he likes, he comes out. If he likes, does not come out. But the PDP guys, from the report I got, they are really, really panicking, in quotes.
If Goodluck is going to take this offer.
Yes. And come to think of it, Atiku is still pushing.
In the picture, yes. He's not giving back.
He doesn't want to. And it's causing confusion. It's causing confusion for them because how can the North rule another 8 years? After Buhari, another Northerner. So they are like, man, take a chill pill, relax.
But he's yet to accept that.
But he says it is freedom to participate.
He's all ready.
He has the right to
go all out. Just as Tinubu too is not backing down. He says he must run. He must run, despite the fact that we see him on TV and see that he's all shaky. It doesn't look like he's very strong, but he keeps telling me that he's a youth and he's capable.
Well, a lot of politics will happen this year, I bet you. And coming from the angle of consensus candidate, a lot of things will happen.
Yes.
And if they stick on that consensus for the primaries, APC primaries, the signs are on the wall that Tinubu is not their preferred candidate.
It's not. He can't be.
He has the power. Yes. He has the power. He has the money. He has the resources.
He does.
But he's really, really showing that they don't really trust this guy.
He's going to make them lose their ticket. So they know this. They know that Nigerians are not stupid. They know the Nigerians are not stupid. You know, if you look at the language of many electorates, many Nigerians, Tinubu is not the man they're expecting. They see Tinubu as another Buhari. I mean, Tinubu, as a leader of the APC, has done nothing to help the situation in Nigeria. In 8 years, he has been silent and has shown that he has thrown his weight behind some of the most terrible policies that have brought this government or brought Nigeria to where it is today. So what exactly is he, did he know, or does he know that it's going to change the situation today? You didn't use it to help, because your party is the ruling party. You didn't use it to do anything. And then now, is it now you want to be the president? Anything going to change? Nigerians are not stupid. So let's even look at it that he wants to use force to come in. He will first of all need the backing of his party. And we know that his party are not looking his way at the moment. We know that.
And there was this joke that came out on Saturday. You know, the fight in Ukraine. You notice that the president is there.
Yeah, oh yeah. He has joined them, yes. The vice president's wife is also bearing arms.
Yes, even the US gave him, said they want to give him a ride.
He said no.
He doesn't want a ride, he wants ammunition.
Yeah. He wants to fight.
Okay,
yeah.
That is for a war. Their president said that he's going nowhere. He's going to stay with his people. But during NSAS,
Baba was
Tinubu ran away.
The guy he brought in bullion vans into his compound and we just seen.
So people are like even ordinary
investment.
Yes,
he didn't turn up.
Yes,
you know.
So they were like ordinary NSAS. You ran away. So it doesn't show leadership.
Yeah, we don't want irresponsible persons to become leaders in this country anymore. And the bulk of Nigerians at the moment are doing everything they can to ensure that we don't get put in another irresponsible personality as president anymore. We won't say Buhari is irresponsible, but his policies and most of the things that are played out in his government just shows the highest level of irresponsibility.
And there were times we needed him to speak, remember?
He never spoke to us. He was always
more like we were begging him to come and speak to you.
And we don't want that anymore. We want a government that is accountable, a government that is with its people, a government that we can reach, not all these newspaper governments. We don't want that. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Victor, for speaking to us this morning. And to our viewers, we thank you for staying with us up to this time. You don't forget to also join the conversation by dropping your comments and reactions on the comment section. And also follow us on all our social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. And here on YouTube, subscribe and turn on notification. Until next time when we come on your way again, my name is William Sabule. See you next time.